Hi Brennan, thanks for having us here. We're from Stadium Astro, Malaysia. Just want to get to know you as a player, and we're going to be running through some questions, understanding you as a player, your whole transition moving to Spurs and all that. And how are you feeling today?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good, thank you. It's a sunny day today. I think like training session just now as well. Just want to know, how has this season at Spurs been treating you so far?
Yeah, it's definitely been a season with kind of ups and downs for me personally, and probably as a team as well. I think overall, I think it's been a good season. I think we've transitioned to playing a new style of football really well. I think there's obviously going to be times where things don't work and it kind of takes time to kind of adapt to it. But for me personally, I think I've learned a lot this season. Obviously, coming from Nottingham Forest last season, it was a big step up for me. But yeah, I think now at this point, I'm really enjoying my football.
Transitioning from playing for a manager like Steve Cooper and now you play for Ange, like what are your most favourite traits about them as a manager?
I think firstly about Steve Cooper, I think he's a really nice manager. I think on a personal level he understands every player. I think he gets along with every player, and he kind of lets you kind of do your own thing on the pitch. He kind of trusts you and believes you to kind of back yourself. And same about Ange, Postecoglou. I think as a man manager is really good. I think the motivational speeches that he gives before the team, I think he's really good at getting everyone up for the game. And as a manager as well, he's a high level manager. I think you can see in the way we play and the positions that players take up all over the pitch. I think it probably looks complex, but he makes it to be quite simple for us. So yeah, two really good managers and two that I really enjoyed working with.
How important has Ange been in helping your journey transitioning to a club like Spurs? And if there's probably one most favourite advice that he has given to you so far in settling well here?
I think it was when I first came in. I think he kind of just explained to me that there was a lot of new players, and even him as a manager was new, and it was kind of a new project to be involved in, which made me feel a lot easier about it. It wasn't like I was coming into a team that had played together for 5 years. It was almost like everyone was kind of new to the system and everyone was kind of getting to know each other. So yeah, I think that made me feel welcome from the start. And then since then he pulls me every now and then just to let me know how he thinks I've been doing, and in the meetings he gives us a lot of feedback. So yeah, he definitely made me feel a lot more welcome.
Out of all teammates in your squad, who has made you feel welcome the most?
I think I'd say James Maddison. I think obviously he's at Leicester last season, I was at Nottingham. We both lived quite in similar areas, and we kind of have a lot of common things about us. So I think, yeah, me and him get on really well, and he definitely made me feel welcome at the start.
Let's talk about matchday mentality. I think ever since January 31st, you've been scoring and providing beautiful assists from the bench back to back in those comeback wins, I think against Brentford, Brighton, and a lot more even after those games. And there's a big difference between knowing that you're going to be on the bench instead of being a starter. Like, what's the biggest difference between these two positions as a player?
I think naturally when you're on the bench and you come on, you feel like you're almost against the time. And I think that's something that, for me as a player, I definitely need to take into when I do start. I think you never know how long you're going to play. I feel like you need to just let it all go as soon as you get out there and play 100%. But I think when I've been coming off the bench and we've been in losing positions, I feel like for me as a winger, I can't take 5-10 minutes to get used to the pace of the game or just settle my way in. I have to be ready from the start, because sometimes when I come on, it doesn't take long for me to get involved. So yeah, I think there's obviously a difference. Obviously everyone wants to start games, but when I'm on the bench, I kind of see it as an opportunity to come on and affect the game.
But do you want to walk us through your approach, in terms of mental prep, coming to these games from the bench?
Yeah, I think mentally it's a little bit different. I think obviously you're preparing for a team who's already been playing for 60, 70 minutes, so you've kind of got to have as much energy as you can at the right moment, because obviously the starters get ready to go from the first minute, whereas you're playing maybe an hour later. So yeah, there's a lot of preparation that goes into it that changes if you're on the bench, I feel like. And mentally as well, you need to kind of just be ready to come on and know that you're going to be fresher than everyone else, which I think is a big thing.
Understood. Let's talk about Timo Werner for a bit, because I think we all know that he shares similar strength to yours in terms of pace. And how do you make sure that you could have a certain conversation with him, making sure that whatever understanding that needs to be on the pitch needs to be officially established to make sure that you could utilize your pace at its best and all that?
Yeah, I think as a player, as soon as he came in, I kind of knew what player he was. He probably didn't know as well about me, but
you studied him more than he studies you.
But yeah, I think he's obviously a player that I knew about, and I knew his qualities. He was so fast and good on both feet. So I think when he gets the ball recently and kind of takes it down the line, I feel like I have to be in the positions because he's so fast. I have to be able to catch up with him, and it's the same on the other side. When I get the ball and look to cross it, he's always in the right areas. And I think even for the Crystal Palace goal, the game after that, I think when I crossed it and there was an own goal against Luton, he was in the right area. So if it didn't come off the Luton player, he would have been in the right area. So just little things like that kind of get you a better relationship with the player.
And then as a young player yourself, like making this move to a big club like Spurs, from Nottingham to North London now with a substantial price, and who do you think, if you want to share with us, who has played such an important role in making sure this whole transition easy to you personally?
Yeah, definitely my family, I think. Obviously I was in Nottingham before with them all the time, and it was obviously very nice to be with them and kind of feeling at home. And then when I moved here, it was a bit different, but yeah, they made it very easy for me in terms of little things like finding a place to live or coming to see me as often as they can, and they still do now, which makes me feel really comfortable. And yeah, things like that are really important when you move places or different teams. I think it's important to have the same circle around you and try and make as much time for them as they do for you.
All right, thank you.